Have you ever felt you were losing someone, but didn't you know what to do to reverse the situation? The feeling of seeing the person you like moving away without understanding exactly why can be distressing. But what if I told you that there is a way to turn this game to your advantage? Today, I will teach you exactly how to regain her attention and make her miss her in a natural and irresistible way. If you do not act now, the chances of losing it forever increases dramatically. Worse, often, without even realizing it, you may be making mistakes that only accelerate this distancing. But calm down, because understanding the psychological triggers of attraction and how to activate them to your advantage is the first step in changing this reality. There is a method tested and proven that makes any woman look back at you with desire and curiosity, and it all starts with a change in your posture and the way you deal with the situation. The truth is that the attraction does not work the way most men believe. It's not about insisting, begging, or trying to convince her that you deserve another chance. On the contrary, the most attractive and successful men in relationships know that the secret is in the scarcity, unpredictability, and energy you convey. If you keep doing what you have always done, hoping she will change her mind on her own, I feel, but your chances are minimal. Now imagine that instead of being the guy she feels she needs to move away, you become the one she just can't get out of the head. Imagine that instead of running after, you activate in her an almost unconscious desire to get around. This is not magic. It is psychology of the attraction strategically applied, and in this video I'll show you how to do it the right way. At the end of this video, you will know exactly how to bring her attention back without looking desperate, without having to beg, and most importantly, without losing respect for yourself. You will learn how to awaken curiosity and her natural desire to want to be with you again. But first of all, it is essential to understand what really makes a woman feel attracted and connected to a man. The answer may not be what you think, and that's exactly what we will unravel now. And before continuing, I want to know, have you been through such a situation? Comment down here what you did when you realized she was walking away. Let's exchange experiences and together understand how we can change this scenario for good. If this content is already helping you, leave the like so that more people can access this information, and of course subscribe to the channel so as not to lose any of the next videos. Now let's go to the point and understand what is really happening. Have you realized that when you run after, it moves further? This has a psychological reason. And no, it's not because she wants to hurt you or because she has lost interest without reason. There is a silent game happening, and if you don't understand the rules, it becomes the predictable guy without challenge, and worse, needy. And the truth is that the emotional attraction is like a flame. If you drown out too much, it goes out. If you feed it the right way, it grows. Now think to me. How many times have you tried to please your best, send a message all the time, be available, thinking that it would make her feel safe? But what happened? Instead of approaching, she distanced herself. And here comes the first point, the loss of emotional attraction. Predictability is one of the greatest enemies of desire. When a woman feels that you already have you completely guaranteed, her brain disables that instinct of conquest. Because deep down, every human being is programmed to wish what cannot be easily. This means that if you have become predictable, if she feels she knows exactly what you are going to do, say, or feel, then, without realizing it, you are no longer a challenge. Now, don't understand me badly. This does not mean that you have to be cold or indifferent, but it means that you need to create space. Do you know that feeling of anxiety you feel when it takes time to answer? When do you wonder what she's doing? So that same feeling can be felt by her, if you know how to play the right way. And this leads us to the second reason why a woman walks away: excess of need. When a guy becomes emotionally dependent, he sends signs that he needs her validation to feel good. And believe me, this is too heavy for anyone to carry. The attraction dies when the dynamics of the relationship becomes a dependency relationship, where you put it in a pedestal and forget that you also have value. That's why this story of being too good rarely works. Not because you should not be good, but because often being too good hides a fear of perdere, a fear of not being enough. And guess what? Fear is not attractive. And here comes a detail that few people realize. Sometimes she's not moving away because she has lost interest, but because she is testing you. Yes, tests happen all the time, and not always consciously. She can ignore you, take a long time to answer, seem disinterested, or to see how you react. This is because self-confidence is one of the greatest indicators of value. If you freak out when it walks away a little, if you start to beg for attention, you show that it depends too much of it and lose the game. Now tell me here in the comments, have you ever felt that you were doing everything right, but she still walked away? Write here what happened. I want to know your story. If you want to reverse this situation and make it feel that intense connection again, the first thing you need to understand is that insisting too much only worsens everything. The more you run after, the more predictable you become, and the more predictable, the less attractive. This is where the power of strategic distancing comes in, and when I speak of distancing, I'm not telling you simply ignoring it in a childish way or trying to play some kind of cheap game. I'm talking about a real emotional vacuum, something that activates in her subconscious that feeling of loss. Because the truth is that people only miss what they don't have immediate access. And if so far you were always available, always showing that you would do anything to get it back, that's exactly what needs to change. When you distance yourself authentically, something powerful happens. You get out of the position of those who are trying to prove your value and become someone who has your own value, someone who doesn't desperately need someone else to feel complete. This alone has a strong effect because scarcity increases the value. It's like when something is always available and suddenly disappears. The mind automatically begins to give more importance to that. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but what if she just follows her life and never coming back? And this is exactly the trap that makes most men fail in this process. Because if you apply strategic distancing, just waiting for her reaction, you are still putting your focus on it, not on you. Which leads us to the next essential point, to work on your own attraction and confidence. Many make the mistake of thinking that the only way to recover a woman's interest is convincing her that it is still worth staying. But attraction doesn't work like that. You don't convince anyone to feel like you. You become an irresistible someone. And that means that instead of spending energy thinking about what she is doing, what she is thinking, what she wants, you need to redirect this energy to you. How are you taking care of yourself? How is your social life? Are you developing, growing, creating new experiences? Because nothing is more attractive than someone who has its own purpose, someone who does not need constant validation. And when you really do that, something curious happens. Without having to make any straight effort, it begins to realize this change, begins to feel its different energy, and this generates a natural desire for rapprochement. But this rapprochement cannot seem forced, and this is where the final strategy comes in. Create natural and inevitable reunions. And when I say natural, it doesn't mean you should simply wait for the destination to act. It means you can use some subtle triggers to rekindle her interest without looking obvious. Social networks, for example, are a powerful tool. You can post something that arouses her curiosity, something that makes her wonder what is happening in your life. Who are the new people around you? The secret is not seeming that you are trying to get her attention directly, but indirectly show that your life continues to evolve. And now I want to know, have you tried to distance yourself, but you felt it didn't work? Or are you afraid that when you get away, will she forget you for good? Comment down here. I want to understand how you see this situation. If you apply these 3 strategies the right way, it will miss you. You will realize your change and, most importantly, will start to see you otherwise. And this is because instead of chasing and begging for attention, you create a powerful psychological effect. First, by moving strategically, you make the absence work in your favor. In a world where everyone is always trying to draw attention all the time, a man who knows the time to retreat conveys a level of value and confidence that few people can, and that moves directly with her perception of you. Then, when focusing on your own development and not in it, you build a new version of yourself, stronger, more interesting and more authentic. And this energy, this change of posture, is something you feel. You need not be said. You don't have to rub in her face that has changed, because she will notice alone, and it is this perception that makes all the difference. And finally, by creating natural and inevitable reunions, you allow fate, or rather her curiosity, do the job for you. You leave subtle tracks of your evolution, instigate her mind without saying a word, arouses a genuine interest, and this generates a much stronger desire than any direct convincing attempt. The secret has always been there, in the way you position yourself, the way you behave, and the way you make it realize on your own that you may have made a mistake by walking away. Now tell me, which of these strategies do you think can work better in your case? Have you tried any of them before? I want to see your comment below. And if you want to know the biggest mistake men make when trying to win back a woman, watch this video here now, because you may be doing just that without realizing it.